question is sometimes asked, why do we have to know who we are and what we do? Let's make a little conundrum. There are two words. One is obtuse and one is abstruse. One means muddled, muddy, unclear, and the other means subtle, nuanced, opaque. What is the difference between these two words besides an R? There's a little Rumi anecdote about a farmer who was leading his sheep to the marketplace when a thief came up behind him and cut the rope and stole the sheep. When the farmer discovered this, he was very, very distressed and went everywhere to find his sheep. But he came across a man standing beside a well, obviously or seemingly in some distress. In fact, it was the thief. And when the farmer asked him what it was that was the matter with him, the thief said, "Oh, I have dropped a bag of money in the well, but if you will help me retrieve it, I will give you some silver coins." And the farmer thought to himself, "Oh, when one door closes, another one opens, I'll be able to buy more sheep." So he took off his clothes and went into the well, and the thief stole his clothes. Mm-hmm. And then there's that old story that allows a question to be asked. That story is about that man who had a bird in a cage. He took care of this bird very well, but it was in captivity. But one day, the man was going off on a holiday to India, and he asked his bird what he would like while he was away. And the bird said, "I would like my freedom." But the man said, "No, I'm sorry, I cannot let you free." So the bird said, "Well, when you go to India, you will find that there are a lot of birds like me who are flying free. Would you tell them of my captivity?" And so when the man went to India, he indeed went out into the forest and saw a lot of birds like his own. And indeed he did what his bird had said, and he said, "Oh, I have a bird just like you, who I have in a cage back in my home." And just then, one of the wild birds fell to the ground dead. Now when the man came back and his bird asked him, well, what did those wild birds say?" And the man, looking very sorry, he said, "I'm very sorry to have to tell you that when I told them of your state, one of them fell out of the sky dead." And just in that moment, his own bird fell to the bottom of the cage with his feet up in the air. The man was distressed and took out what he thought was his dead bird and placed it on the window sill. The bird immediately came to life and flew out of the window to freedom. And the bird, looking down at the man, said, "Thank you, you who have been the instrument of my enslavement is the instrument of my liberation." So the question is, what is it that has kept us encaged, enslaved, but has also been the instrument of our liberation, our freedom? What is it that has kept us enslaved?
Our minds.
Absolutely. Our mind. The instrument of our enslavement and the instrument of our liberation. So this is part of the question that was asked the other day. Where does our mind come back to roost?
When it dies after it's died.
Is there a roost on which we can find now, on which our mind comes back to rest? And what has happened to our mind when it no longer has a roost? So what is it that is flying free now that cage has been opened? What is it that's now flying free?
Everything.
We know what it was that it kept us enslaved. We know what it is that was the instrument of our liberation, the mind. But what is it that is now flying free?
Spirit.
Spirit.
Spirit is
unlocked.
something. Spirit is what we would term soul, isn't it? Is that what you're thinking about when it's not our soul that's flying free? What is it that's flying free?
The heart is free.
The heart, but what does the heart represent for us? What is it that's now liberated for us?
It's yourself.
No boundaries,
No
no division.
Everything.
Infinity.
And everyone around you.
Yes.
The heart is no division.
What is it? What is it? Give it a name. What is it?
Consciousness.
Yes, consciousness.